Tess of the D'Urberville by Thomas Hardy is a tragic novel about Tess D'Urberville, a young woman from a poor rural family who experiences profound misfortunes and injustices that shape her life. Let's think about and talk about the detailed summary and plot of the novel. The novel begins when Tess D'Urberville's father, John, a poor farmer in rural England, learns that he may be a descendant of the noble D'Urberville family. Driven by this revelation, the family attempts to improve their fortunes. Tess's mother, Joan, encourages Tess to claim kinship with the wealthy D'Urberville family in a nearby town. So Tess's mother, Joanne, is the one who encourages Tess mainly like this, hoping this will bring financial support. Tess, feeling guilty after her family's horse dies in an accident for which she feels responsible, agrees to go. At the D'Urberville estate, Tess meets Alec D'Urberville, who becomes infatuated with her. Alec is not a true D'Urberville by blood. His family adopted the name. He seduces Tess using charm and manipulation, and ultimately he takes advantage of her in an ambiguous and tragic scene that forever changes Tess's life. Tess returns to her village in shame, having lost her innocence. After the incident with Alec, Tess gives birth to his child, whom she names Sorrow. The child dies soon after birth, leaving Tess devastated. Despite these hardships, she attempts to rebuild her life, determined to find independence and dignity. Tess later finds work on a dairy farm at Talbothays, where she meets Angel Clare, the son of a clergyman. Unlike other men in her life, Angel appreciates Tessa's natural beauty, strength, and intelligence. They fall deeply in love, but Tess is tormented by her past. Though she wants to tell Angel about Alec, she fears rejection and waits until after their wedding to confess. On their wedding night, Tess confesses her past to Angel, expecting forgiveness. However, Angel is unable to accept her history and abandons her, leaving her heart broken and forcing her to fend for herself. Angel travels abroad, believing he needs time to reconcile with Tess's past. Struggling with poverty and hardship, Tess eventually encounters Alec again, who has taken up preaching but reverts to his former ways upon seeing her. Alec manipulates Tess, and in her vulnerable state, she reluctantly becomes his mistress to support her family. When Angel finally returns, repentant and willing to accept Tess, he finds her with Alec. Driven by desperation and a sense of betrayal, Tess kills Alec. She then flees with Angel, experiencing a brief period of happiness. However, Tess is soon captured, and the novel ends with the execution, making a tragic culmination of her struggles. The novel is based on several universal thematic concerns. The novel explores themes of social class, gender roles, fate, and justice, often questioning Victorian morals and the harsh judgments placed upon women. Tess's story reflects Hardy's critique of society's failure to protect vulnerable individuals, particularly women, trapped in difficult circumstances. The novel's powerful tragic ending is emblematic of Hardy's view on the relentless forces of nature, society, and fate that shape and ultimately destroy Tess's life. Tess of the D'Urberville by Thomas Hardy is a rich example which shows the richness of the number of themes a novel can have. There is also a social critique with intense personal drama in it. Fate and destiny are very important roles in Tess's life. as Hardy often suggests that events are beyond her control. Tessa's journey seems predetermined by forces like ancestry, societal expectations, and chance events. Hardy depicts fate as an inevitable, almost cruel force, especially when Tessa's noble ancestry leads to suffering rather than success. Double standard and purity is another theme in the novel. Hardy critiques Victorian morality, particularly the double standard around female purity and male permissiveness. Tess is judged harshly for her loss of innocence due to Alec, whereas Angel, despite having his own powers, holds Tess to an impossible standard. This hypocritical view of purity contributes to Tess's suffering, as society repeatedly condemns her for actions largely beyond her control. Social class and mobility is another theme. Tessa's struggle with the identity as a D'Urberville reflects Hardy's criticism of the rigid British class system. Her lineage, while noble, offers no real advantage, showing that nobility in name alone holds no value. The novel portrays class as a limiting force, where upward mobility is an illusion for people like Tess, who remain bound by poverty and social restrictions. Nature and rural life is another theme. Nature is both a sanctuary and a harsh reality in Tess's life, depicted with romantic beauty but also with an unyielding, indifferent force. Hardy's portrayal of the English countryside reflects Tess's connection to the natural world, which provides comfort even as it mirrors the inevitable cycle of suffering and survival. Religion and hypocrisy is another theme. Hardy critiques organized religion's rigidity and its inability to provide solace. While Tess is a deeply moral character, her actions are often condemned by religious figures and society, who impose harsh judgments on her. Alec's transformation into a preacher, only to revert to his manipulative behavior, reflects Hardy's skepticism about the sincerity of religious transformation. The inevitability of suffering and injustice. Tessa's suffering is emblematic of the human condition, with Hardy suggesting that life is inherently unjust. Tessa's hardships, from Alec's exploitation to Angel's rejection, reveal how society punishes individuals for circumstances outside their control, pointing to a world that offers little justice or redemption for those like Tess. Gender inequality and power dynamics are the other themes in the novel. Tess is consistently victimized by men in positions of power, showing the limited agency women held in Hardy's society. Alec uses his wealth and charm to manipulate her, and even Angel, who loves her, ultimately controls her fate by abandoning her. Hardy emphasizes the limited freedom and severe consequences women face in a patriarchal society. Hardy's novel reflects both sympathy for Tess and a broad critique of Victorian society, suggesting that Tess's tragic fate is less about her choices and more about the relentless pressures of fate, society, and nature. So, when you go through this novel, if you want to study it further, you may consider the following essay type questions. How does Thomas Hardy portray fate in the novel Tess of the D'Urbervilles? Hardy portrays fate as a powerful and often cruel force that controls Tess's life, from her family's discovery of noble ancestry to the accidents and encounters with Alec and Angel. Tess seems trapped by a predetermined path. Next question is, discuss the role of social class in Tess's life. Social class significantly affects Tess's life and limits her opportunities. Although her family is poor, they learn of their noble heritage, which ironically brings them misfortune rather than social advancement. The next question is, how does Hardy criticize Victorian ideals of purity through Tess's character? Hardy criticizes Victorian ideals by showing the harsh double standard placed on Tess. After her encounter with Alex, society labels her as impure. The next question is, how is nature used symbolically in the novel? Nature symbolizes both beauty and indifference throughout the novel. The English countryside reflects Tess's inner life, offering solace during peaceful times, but also mirroring the harsh, unyielding reality of her suffering. The next question is, how do Alec and Angel represent different types of male power in Tess's life? Alec represents corrupt and manipulative power using wealth and status to control Tess, while Angel represents idealized love but ultimately fails Tess with his moral rigidity. The next question is, what is Hardy's view on organized religion as reflected in the novel? Hardy portrays organized religion as hypocritic and unsympathetic. Religious figures in the novel are quick to judge Tess rather than offer compassion. Even Alex's transformation into a preacher is superficial. The next question is, explain the theme of suffering and its inevitability in the Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Suffering is a constant thing in Tess's life, from family burdens to social condemnation and tragic love. This suffering is inevitable, as Hardy shows. The next question is, why does Hardy title the novel Tess of the D'Urberville despite Tess's family's poverty? The title highlights the irony of Tess's lineage. Despite her noble ancestry, Tess's life is marked by poverty and hardship rather than privilege. Next question, how does Tess embody both innocence and strength in the novel? Tess's innocence is shown through her initial naivety and trust, especially in her interactions with Alec and Angel. Also, she exhibits remarkable strength as she endures hardships and strives to protect her family and maintain her dignity. The next question is, what is the significance of the novel's tragic ending? The tragic ending underscores Hardy's view. Hardy's view that Hardy's view of life as inherently unjust and pessimistic. Tess's execution is a culmination of a lifelong suffering, suggesting that society, fate, and the forces around her were always against her. The ending serves as a powerful statement about the inevitability of tragedy for those caught in life's unfair structures. So I hope these questions will help you to study the novel and think about it critically more.